Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever felt that relentless, almost exhausting pressure? The one to share every single step of your journey,
Oh, absolutely.
to announce your goals before they're even really baked, to sort of seek validation for your dreams from, well, everyone around you.
Mm-hmm. It's everywhere.
It's a feeling that resonates so deeply, doesn't it? Especially now in our hyper-connected, broadcast everything world.
Definitely.
We're constantly bombarded with this narrative that, to be seen is to be successful,
Mm.
that our goals only get real once we put them out there for an audience.
Right, like public approval makes it legitimate.
Exactly. But what if, just for a moment, we challenge that really deeply ingrained idea?
Okay, I'm listening.
What if everything we've been taught, maybe implicitly, about chasing success, about being loud, seeking that constant external pat on the back, was actually kind of subtly hindering us?
That's a really interesting thought.
Well, today, we're embarking on a pretty fascinating deep dive into a concept that really dares to defy all that modern conditioning. We're talking about the profound, often overlooked, and maybe truly revolutionary power of silence.
The power of silence. Okay.
Yeah. Our journey for this discussion comes from some really insightful excerpts titled The Silent Power of Success.
Got it.
And our mission today, we're going to explore why choosing to keep certain things to yourself, cultivating that quiet space for your ambitions, might just be your most potent weapon.
A weapon. Interesting.
Yeah, and maybe your most impenetrable shield, and possibly even your greatest superpower on that winding path to, well, genuine achievement.
A shield and a superpower. I like that framing.
So get ready for maybe some aha moments that could genuinely shift your perspective on what it means to build, to grow, and at the end of the day, to succeed. #1. The world's addiction to noise versus the unseen force. So you just take a moment, look around, observe the landscape we're in. It's really undeniable, isn't it?
What specific?
We are living in a world that just seems utterly addicted to noise. Like, completely.
Yeah, noise is definitely a good word for it. Constant buzz.
It's this constant, almost frenetic demand
Mm.
for attention, for validation, for applause, right? For every single fleeting thought or half-baked plan to be aired publicly.
The pressure to perform online.
From the moment we open our eyes, reach for our phones, our feeds are just flooded. People shouting about their brand new plans, broadcasting these huge goals, announcing their next big move.
All seemingly looking for that praise, right? Or maybe just permission.
Exactly. Permission. It's like the very act of declaring something publicly gets mistaken for the act of doing it.
That's a key confusion, I think. The declaration feels like progress.
Yeah, and this whole phenomenon, as our source material points out, it's deeply ingrained in us, maybe from early on, but it's amplified like crazy by modern culture.
Oh, for sure. Exponentially.
We're subtly but persistently led to believe that being loud equals being strong, that real confidence is somehow measured by how much we declare publicly.
And social media plays a huge role there.
Oh, it's not just a platform. It's like an architect of this mindset, right? It creates this pervasive illusion that if something isn't posted, if it doesn't get likes or comments,
Then it almost didn't happen, or doesn't count.
right, it doesn't count. So we end up chasing that fleeting recognition, that digital pat on the back, sometimes before we've even taken the first real step.
It's a cycle.
But what if, and this is the really radical idea at the heart of this deep dive, what if our greatest strength isn't found in what we loudly share,
Okay.
but rather in what we deliberately choose to keep private?
That definitely goes against the grain.
It's a thought that challenges like a fundamental belief in today's success narrative. And I think it's really worth digging into deeper.
I agree. That's a powerful observation, and it leads us right into a core truth highlighted in our source material. What's really fascinating here is that genuine power, the kind that actually creates lasting impact. Well, it doesn't inherently need a spotlight.
Right. No spotlight needed.
It doesn't demand attention or, clamor for validation. Instead, it operates quietly, often relentlessly, and with this unwavering intention usually in the background.
Working behind the scenes.
Exactly. Think about truly significant achievements. When they finally show up, when they manifest, they don't need to explain themselves, do they?
No, they just saw her.
They simply dominate the space. Their presence is just undeniable. And this directly challenges that common belief that loudness means effectiveness or that visibility is the only way to measure progress.
Yeah, we equate noise with action.
We do. The insights from The Silent Power of Success make a really profound point here. Real, undeniable power doesn't constantly announce itself with fanfare.
Hmm.
Instead, it suggests that the most effective people, often the quiet ones, are actually, quote, moving mountains in secret.
Moving mountains in secret. I like that.
They're meticulously building, crafting their success away from the public gaze. They aren't waiting for that external validation because their internal drive, their own motivation. It's not just enough, it's actually better, stronger.
So it's more robust.
Absolutely. This whole perspective reframes silence. It's not weakness, it's not fear, it's not a lack of confidence. It's a deliberate, highly strategic choice.
Okay, a strategic choice. Not just happening to be quiet.
Precisely. It's a conscious embrace of discipline, a real commitment to internal focus. And that focus grants a kind of clarity and control that honestly no amount of outside noise or fleeting opinion or subtle negativity can really penetrate.
So it acts like a shield then.
It functions exactly like a robust shield in a world that's constantly trying to pull you in a million different directions, splintering your focus, and crucially, diluting your energy.
That reframing, thinking of silence not as passive, but as this active, deliberate strategy. Wow, that creates an immediate and, I think, profound shift in how you look at things.
It really does.
It challenges us to rethink how we approach our own ambitions. When you truly absorb this idea, when you stop needing to constantly announce what you're going to do, and instead you pivot to just acting with that quiet conviction,
What happens?
something transformative starts to happen inside you. Your mental energy, it just sharpens. That precious finite resource you're focused, it deepens dramatically. It becomes less vulnerable to all that outside stuff.
Less interference makes sense.
You stop waiting for approval from others, for that superficial digital thumbs up or the validating comment. And instead, you begin to grant yourself the authority, the permission slip, basically, to move forward.
You take back control.
You reclaim full ownership of your path. You become the sole judge of your own progress. It's a really powerful reclamation of your own agency.
I see that.
So I genuinely challenge you, listening right now, just as our source material urges, release that almost desperate need to be seen, to be validated by the crowd,
Let it go.
and instead embrace the truly formidable strength that comes from being unseen, from operating under the radar. Let go of the need for constant external proving and embrace the profound patience that's required for that deep, internal, often invisible process of becoming who you're truly meant to be. Okay, so here's where this deep dive gets, I think, even more compelling. We're talking about a truth that feels so fundamentally powerful that once you really grasp it, your whole perspective on how success is achieved, and maybe more importantly, how it's nurtured, it'll never quite be the same.
Okay, what's the secret?
The core insight is deceptively simple, but it has huge impact. The greatest strength you have isn't found in what you speak out loud,
Right.
but rather in what you diligently, consciously protect.
Protect. Okay, how does that contrast with what we normally do?
Well, it stands in stark contrast to everything our modern world, especially that pervasive culture of social media, conditions us to do right. We're constantly nudged, sometimes even explicitly pushed, to broadcast every fleeting thought, every little plan,
Yeah.
every new dream.
All hoping for those likes, the attention, that quick hit of validation.
Exactly. That sweet but totally temporary hit. We're almost compelled to share before anything's even fully formed,
Right.
before it's had a chance to develop its own strength.
Right, sharing it raw, almost.
Yeah.
And if we connect this idea to the broader patterns you see in genuinely successful individuals, you find this striking common thread.
It's just
The people who achieve the most, the really big things, they rarely, if ever, loudly announce their every move or their grand aspirations. They just don't.
they're not posting constant updates.
No, they don't seek constant public approval or, beg for recognition at every little milestone. Instead, they operate silently, relentlessly, with this quiet determination, just working diligently behind the scenes.
Okay, but why? What's the danger of sharing too early?
That's the critical why behind this. Specifically, the inherent dangers of revealing things too soon. When you reveal your dreams, your fragile new ideas, your big plans prematurely, you inherently, and often without realizing it, open yourself up to a barrage of doubt, negativity, and just countless distractions that can totally derail you before you've even really gotten started.
Derail you,
Yeah.
even with good intentions from others.
Absolutely. It's not always that people are malicious or actively trying to sabotage you. Often others simply won't fully understand or grasp the depth of your vision. It's too new, too different,
They
perhaps.
can't see what you see yet.
Precisely. They might discourage you because they genuinely don't believe it's feasible based on their own experience or worldview. Or maybe, and this is a subtle but incredibly powerful point our source makes, others might even harbor an unconscious fear of your potential.
Fear of my potential. How so?
Fear of what you might become if you actually succeed. Your success might highlight their own perceived inaction or limitations. It's often unconscious, but it's real.
Wow. Okay.
And it's not just about the critical words they might say explicitly. Even as the source puts it, a look, a hesitant pause, or a subtle lack of enthusiastic support can quietly, insidiously drain your energy and plant insidious seeds of self-doubt.
So even nonverbal stuff can hurt.
Immensely. Their subtle cues, their unspoken reservations can be just as damaging, maybe even more so, than direct criticism because it seeps in under your radar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The source material offers a really brilliant analogy here. It urges us to think of success like a seed.
Okay, like a seed.
Consider this. If you constantly keep digging up that seed to show others how it's doing, look, it's sprouting, seeking their approval, or just marveling at its tiny form.
You're disturbing it.
Exactly. It will never get the chance to properly root, to gather strength, and ultimately to grow. A seed needs time, immense patience, and crucial protection in the quiet, dark earth
Right. Undisturbed.
before it can gather the resilience it needs to break through the ground and bloom into something truly undeniable, something strong enough to face the wind and the rain.
That's a powerful image.
And your most cherished goals, your aspirations, they are precisely the same. They demand quiet, undisturbed nurturing, a period of silent growth before they're robust enough to be revealed.
So revealing them too soon is like digging up the seed.
Precisely. And this is a primary reason why so many well-intentioned people who talk endlessly about their grand goals, who articulate everything so eloquently, they paradoxically never actually reach them.
They talk the talk.
But don't walk the walk because their vital energy gets scattered. It's diffused through all that external communication. Their initial sharp focus gets diluted by 100 different opinions and bits of feedback.
And the motivation just fizzles.
Their intrinsic motivation often fades in the constant noise of others' expectations. What was once a vibrant ambition becomes this dusty, forgotten idea on a shelf.
Is there a name for that?
Yeah, there's actually a psychological term, symbolic self-completion. The act of talking about the goal tricks your brain into feeling like you've already made progress.
Ah, so you get the reward without doing the work.
Exactly. And that diminishes the drive to do the actual hard, quiet work required. But you, listening now, having absorbed these insights, you're different.
How so?
Because now you understand this profound secret. The secret that silence, far from being just an absence, is actually your most potent weapon.
Silence as a weapon.
That diligently protecting your vision, guarding it from premature exposure, gives you an undeniable strategic advantage. That working quietly, diligently, without fanfare, builds an inner strength, a resilience that no one, absolutely no one, can ever truly take away from you.
Okay, this leads us to a really critical question then.
Well,
What does all this mean for your most valuable, truly your most finite resource?
and that is
Your energy. I'm talking about your mental, emotional, creative energy.
yes, absolutely crucial.
But the found message here, and it's reinforced throughout the source material,
Yeah.
is incredibly liberating when you really let it sink in. You don't owe explanations to anyone.
Say that again. That's important.
You are not obligated to justify your chosen path or your personal decisions to the doubters, the critics, the naysayers. You just aren't.
That pressure to explain is huge sometimes.
It is. And that external pressure, that subtle demand for an account of your actions, it's an insidious drain on your mental and emotional reserves. It takes up bandwidth.
Totally. Energy you could be using elsewhere.
Exactly. Your true, singular, and most important responsibility is to focus intensely with unwavering commitment on the work itself, on your own growth, and, most importantly, on protecting your precious energy like the priceless treasure it really is.
Guarding your energy.
Because when your success finally shows up, when your vision becomes real, it won't just be some announcement you broadcasted months ago. It will be a powerful, undeniable statement.
A statement of what?
A testament to your unwavering discipline, your profound resilience, and that silent strength you've so carefully, meticulously cultivated.
Precisely. And this deliberate embrace of silence, it doesn't just protect you passively, it actively cultivates and builds something within you, something incredibly rare in today's world, something truly unshakable.
And that something is
That something is precisely what the Source calls silent strength.
silent strength.
It's not loud, it's not boastful, and it certainly doesn't need to be announced to the world for it to be real. Yet when it's developed, its presence becomes undeniable.
How does it feel? How does it manifest?
This silent strength is the quiet, persistent force that propels you forward even when nobody is watching. Especially when nobody's watching, when there's no audience to impress.
The internal engine.
Right. It's the discipline to keep moving, keep building, keep refining, even without that immediate hit of applause or external validation. It's the deep courage that blossoms from an unwavering belief in yourself, not relying on others to fuel your conviction.
Belief from within.
Most people simply don't realize this, but your mental and emotional energy truly is your most valuable resource. You have to guard it fiercely, protect it like your life depends on it.
Because it kind of does. For progress.
Because in many fundamental ways, your progress and ultimately your success absolutely do depend on it. This energy fuels your focus, it fortifies your confidence, it sustains your persistence through the inevitable tough times.
Okay, so how does speaking too soon drain it?
Every single time you articulate your dreams aloud to someone who doesn't genuinely understand them, someone who doesn't wholeheartedly support them, or frankly, someone who just doesn't deserve access to your delicate emerging vision,
Yeah.
you inadvertently lose a piece of that vital creative energy. It leaks out.
Like a puncture in a tire.
Exactly. And when you speak about your aspirations too soon, you almost inevitably invite doubt. You invite a whole flurry of unsolicited opinions. You invite noise that can profoundly cloud your hard-won clarity.
Noise that clouds clarity. That's key.
And it's crucial to understand why people might cast doubt. It's often not because your dreams are impossible or flawed. Frequently, it's because deep down, they might harbor that subtle fear we talk about, fear of how powerful you could become if you actually succeed.
Their own stuff getting projected onto you.
Precisely. Others will simply project their own past failures, their personal insecurities, their deeply held fears onto your new vision, often unconsciously, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, without you even noticing the gradual erosion. You begin to internalize these external doubts. You start to question yourself. That is the profound, often missed cost of unnecessary premature exposure.
Wow, that's a heavy price.
It is. But silence, in stark contrast, acts as this powerful, impenetrable shield. It safeguards your precious mental space. It allows you to stay singularly focused on the process itself, the hard, rewarding work of building, rather than getting distracted by obsessing over the outcome or what others think.
Freedom to just do the work.
It gives you the crucial freedom to build your foundation quietly, meticulously, brick by brick, day by day, without external voices or judgments constantly shaking your resolve. That, at its core, is the true power and the profound advantage of silent strength.
That makes so much sense.
Consider the majestic lion. Think about that image. Before the critical moment of the hunt, does it roar?
No, it's silent. Stalking.
Exactly. It doesn't let out a thunderous roar to announce its intentions. It doesn't broadcast its strategy or signal its presence to its prey. Instead, it waits with supreme patience. It stalks its prey with meticulous precision and unwavering focus. It acts with immense power and quiet deliberation, all in profound silence, patiently, strategically, powerfully. And when it finally strikes, there is absolutely no doubt about who is in control, no question of its capability or its sheer dominance.
Undeniable action.
That silent, focused, strategic action is precisely what makes it an unstoppable force in its domain. This isn't just a nice metaphor, it's a strategic blueprint. Conserve your energy, observe carefully, plan meticulously, and then act with decisive, unquestionable force. #4. Cultivating self-mastery through the art of silence.
Wow. When you really absorb that lion analogy, it triggers a kind of profound realization, doesn't it? Real deep growth doesn't need to be announced or, celebrated before it's ready.
It really doesn't.
It's inherently like the formidable roots of a giant oak tree pushing deep underground. You don't see them.
Invisible to the casual observer.
Right. But they're steady, powerful, and utterly unshakably anchoring that tree against any storm that comes along.
That's a great visual, the unseen strength.
And when you consciously choose to honor and really cultivate the power of silence in your own life, that's exactly what starts to happen within you. You become unmovable. You become this force grounded in internal strength, not relying on external approval.
Grounded and centered.
And this silent strength, this self-mastery, it shows up in really concrete, tangible ways in your daily life. It's not just abstract.
Like what? Give me some examples.
It's the quiet determination to wake up early, to chase your dreams, right? Consistently putting in the work, without feeling any need to post about your hashtag hustle on social media for validation.
Doing it for yourself, not the ticker.
Exactly. It's having the unwavering discipline to say no to those seductive distractions, to skip the immediate gratification, even when nobody's there to clap for you, when no one even knows you're making that silent sacrifice.
The unseen choices.
Yeah. And it's about possessing the quiet confidence not to explain yourself to others all the time, coupled with the profound wisdom to just trust that time itself will eventually reveal everything you're diligently working towards. It's about letting your actions be your loudest statement.
That quiet confidence is key. It's not arrogance, it's self-assurance. Which brings us to a critical, and I think often overlooked question. Why is silence so incredibly powerful, especially right now in our current noisy